Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video will be the last video for Botanical Beauties. So the plan is to get some colour into my daffodil and then select the threads that I'll use to stitch, and voila, we're done. So for those of you who did the iris or Dutch iris, whatever you want, that was technically the piece for I guess the prompt for the month, but as I explained in last week's video, I've done a few irises this year and I sort of thought, oh, what will I do? So it was a free choice, so to speak. So yeah, the daffodil it was. Pretty chuffed with my attempt to draw it. Was a little concerned that I wasn't going to pull it off, as you recall in the last video. Thank you for all your kind comments too. You guys are just the best. Alrighty, let's get some colour in. I'm just looking at the Inktense pencils. Sun Yellow or Sherbet Lemon. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the gouache because that colour there looks good to me. And I can go lighter or darker from that point. So, that's the plan. I've got my water. I've put some paper towel underneath the piece. It seems very dark. I might start in the centre. Yeah, it is dark. It's very orange. I'll start in there and I might put a bit underneath there. Gosh, it looks so different to that. So I don't know. That was, maybe I update this colour swatch because that's just not true. I think it's caught me once before. I've picked up that yellow thinking it was, yeah, there we go. That's closer to what it's going to give me. All right, so we're back to this guy, sunflower yellow. Got a bit of darkness in there, so that's all right. We can blend that out. Yeah, that'll work. Around that top edge. I'll be stitching in there. These petals will be perfect for doing some weaving because they're nice and thick. So I'm thinking that's the stitch that I'll go for. I just feather that out there so it's not so, just a smudging of it. And then these, do I come from the top or the bottom? I'll come from the top. And just pop a little bit out here and then work my way back. And like I said, I can bring stitching then. Maybe I'll weave from here out. That's what I'm thinking. So I hope you've all been well. You'll be watching this video and I will be down in Sydney. I was just having a look at the calendar, planning this video, thinking I better get it done and so that you've got something to watch while I'm away. So that's when I looked at the dates and I'm thinking, wow, I'll actually be in Sydney as you watch this. Whooping it up. I might just bring a little bit of that in there as well. It's a lighter yellow. Don't think it'll make much difference. No, I'll leave it at that. Leave it at that. Now, the leaves. I might go back to the Inktense pencil because the colours in these greens are a little bit lolly-like, bright, and I think I'll go back to this and get that leaf green, which has been the favourite through the whole project. So let's start with just moistening the tip. a little bit of paint on my, and just gently bring it down. Get that stem at least with some colour. A bit darker down in the bottom corner. Look, you guys can't even see. Hang on. Let's get ourselves positioned here a little bit better. So getting a little bit darker down here. The other thing I need to do is stamp the word daffodil and create the little name tag. I'm really not in focus real well. So to be darker where that twist is. And lighter going up to the twist. So darker in there. Don't need a lot of colour, just a shading. Like I said, I'll stitch into there anyway, so I'll just keep it quite subtle. A little bit on that edge. It's probably a shadow being cast anyway from the flower, but hey, we're not going to get that technical. We haven't in any of the images, so no use starting now. I'm going to miss this project. I have thoroughly enjoyed the challenge of creating. Oh, there's a workman picking up a trailer to the side of me and popping some ladders on the roof. It's the end of the day for him. So yeah, it's just about getting a little bit of green. I think if I was to buy more Inktense pencils, I would probably want greens. I could do with some more tones of green if I was to buy any more, and even then I don't really need them. There's enough. What colour was that? It's a brown, we don't need that. So there we go. There is our colour. Might just pop the water away before there's an incident. I'll be back in a moment, guys. Just going to take this to the sink. Okay. Now, that is still very damp, so what we can do is have a little look at some threads. And then what we might have to do is actually pause the video, let that dry, and then have a play with some stitching. So let's have a look at the colours. Well, I'm thinking we can definitely do a little bit of orange into the centre, and I might follow the apricot feel. And then daffodil, well, daffodil orange, daffodil yellow. Can't go too wrong with those. That's probably about all I need. Maybe a little bit for this, a green. Sort of want to, maybe that one. Okay. It feels pretty dry. I think we can go for it. That's it's a very warm day in my room here, so it's not like hasn't dried, I don't think. And if I just do there's a little piece, just do a little bit of weaving, that'll at least show you guys what I'm thinking. And I'm going to need a hoop. Are they handy? Let me just go behind me here. That'd get me out of trouble. Little 5-inch hoop should just about do it, I think. Well, This won't be a very long video, will it? It's come together quite quickly, but that's okay. It's just a quick stop in, finish the project video. Let's tighten that up. So let's have a little play. We might do a weave into the paint, like so. So get our threads going up and down first to create our base. You guys know how to do this. We're using it all the time now. It's just one of those great stitches to add a little bit of interest to your work. There's plenty of tutorials out there on how to do it if you can't quite make out what I'm doing here, but pretty much you're laying down your one row of threads and then you come back and literally weave up and down, depending on your density that you require, or if you want it fairly loose, depends on, you know, how many of these threads you put in, and also I guess the gap between the threads. I'm going to keep this fairly loose. My thread is probably number 5 crochet cotton, DMC pearl cotton. So there's my across threads. Now I'm going to come up and start weaving, and of course I use the back of the needle because you don't want to pierce. I might go. You don't want to pierce your threads, otherwise you can't control where they go, and then you do a little anchor stitch at the end. So if you're a newbie, give it a go. It's a really cool stitch. It'll make you look real clever. It's one of those stitches, I reckon. Gives you a nice little detail. Be careful not to pierce the thread, even when you're bringing your threads together. Don't pull your work or your stitches too hard and tight, because you can, you know, distort the fabric and you'll have your weaving looking like it's swinging in on the outer edges. I'm going to use the point of the needle there. I know I shouldn't. Oh no, I think I can get through. Just want to get one more stitch in there. Okay, so you notice I'm sort of going up and down either side of that first one. I just sort of go wherever I feel like going, to be honest. I have no set routine. And if you want an angle or a curve or a shape to your weaving, don't be afraid to just send your line off in another direction, and you can get a real swoosh to your weaving. I'm going to keep this fairly patchy, I think. Where's the daylily? That's got a lot of weaving on it, and I did there. I followed the line of the actual petal. You can see how it's curving, and you can stop and start it as much as you like. Look at that one's got a bit of an angle. You can change your threads so that you can get like a two-tone effect. You can do as much or as little as you like. make it dense, loose, like there's the possibilities. You can pick up double threads instead of going over and under and over and under. You could do 2 over, 2 under, 2 over. So yeah, there we go. Now we're on the home straight. So I guess the plan will be to do a little bit more on each of these petals. Then I might pop back with a photo or two at the end of the video. And that's it. A project completed. How exciting. Like I said, I will miss it. So what are we over? So we need to go that way. Next, I'll finish this little patch off. I think I only need another 2 passes. Adds great texture, doesn't it? There we go. There and there. Okay, 1 pass by the looks of it. I think that'll do the trick. And then find a thread at the back to finish it off. I wonder what we do with that apricot. Might fiddle with that next before we say goodbye. And then I'd probably maybe just a few little stitches in there, some little satin stitches. It might potentially cover up all the paint, but that's okay. I've got a little bit of that orange underneath. Let's have a look, see what we do here. I'm thinking just a bit of satin stitch, but we'll just maybe even long and short stitch, keep it staggered and soft so we can still see the paint through it. We'll do a quick flyby with just some random stitches and then see how much more we want to add, or is that enough? Change the angle. Out to there, out to there. Okay. Yeah, it looks like the sound of a trumpet. I wouldn't say it's artistically brilliant, but we'll take it. We will take it. I don't think there's much in the way of stamens in the centre of these little flowers. If there were, they'd probably so deep down in that trumpet that you probably wouldn't notice them. I should have a closer look at some sketches. Oh, we can put that colour away. And these little bits that have been left, I've just been working into the edge of the tablecloth. It's just been a lovely way of using all the little leftover bits. Just by coming up there and doing a little overcast stitch, just a pop of colour. I wouldn't go around the whole cloth. It's kilometres. It's thread that doesn't need to be used, and it's just a spot to put my leftover little orts. Just a random little feature around the very edge of the tablecloth. I haven't had a lot of leftovers, so there's not a lot of it around, but I guess if I do a project and I have a heap of threads left over, I know where to go. Just grab this out and I can hear my phone pinging. Someone's chasing me. Okay. That's the last one. It's like a little binding, just a pop of colour. There we go. And as for the leaves, I've got this stranded cotton. I think I'll leave it at 6 strands. The yellow will definitely be a few more little patches of weaving. Probably only got about 15 minutes of stitching on this anyway. And we might just do, I haven't actually stitched the leaves on the hyacinth. Look at that. I might be able to do that as well. I must have missed it. It's not in a hoop, but I'll just do a few little stitches. We'll keep them at an angle. Come up that side. Yeah, like a stem stitch. Just there, just a little bit. If I did too much, I think it'd overpower the piece. So I think that'll work. Okay, guys, I will toddle off and put the finishing touches on my daffodil. The other thing I need to do is the stamp. So I could do with a bit of calico, which, do I have any nearby? Maybe. Yeah. Okay, so I'll be able to stamp that as well. I don't have my stamps nearby, so I'll do that before I leave my desk as well. Daffodil, tear that out, get that stitched in somewhere on the piece, and yeah, yay. I will take some photos, pop them at the end of this video, and so you can see the final piece. I'll do some overall shots as well. That'd be pretty cool to show you the bigger picture. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks for joining me on this project. It's been fantastic. Thoroughly enjoyed it. This book has just been worth every cent, and it was pretty inexpensive, if I remember rightly. It was like $10, $11 or something Australian. So yeah. All right, guys, look after yourselves. Have a great day. Bye. Hello, everyone. How are you all? This is the piece finished. I've just finished my daffodil. You can still see the hoop ring. I put the name on, but it's in the wrong spot. It's too close to the other one, so I'll move that when I finish this little video. But I thought I'd give you an overall shot of the little tablecloth. From memory, it's about 90 centimetres by 90 centimetres. And then each quadrant was a pre-printed little image here. Some stitched by the lady prior to me, whoever had it, because I found it in a thrift store. And then as the project's gone on, we've meandered around the tablecloth to complete Botanical Beauties. So there you go. We are done. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. I'll pop some photos at the end of the video. And yeah, yay, finished. See you later.